Welcome friends. So now we are entering into the third week of this course on manufacturing strategy. The course of manufacturing strategy is helping us to understand the role of manufacturing in the competitiveness of an organization, but at the same time this is also continuously emphasizing the role of functional strategies in the corporate strategy. In our last session, we discussed that organizations can compete either on the basis of marketing or on the basis of human resource or on the basis of manufacturing or on the basis of supply chain or on the basis of innovation. All these are the functional level activities, and when one functional level activity excels in your organization, that gives you the competitive advantage. Most of the literature we discussed is pointing that organizations are competing on the basis of marketing abilities. Their competencies in marketing are the main force of driving the competition. Here in this course we are focusing that manufacturing can also provide equal amount of competitiveness, and we have earlier argued that maximum share in the expenditure of your organization is related to manufacturing activities. So obviously the part of functional activities which is taking care most of your resources should provide you maximum competitiveness. So this logic is very simple, but many of us have not followed this logic, and therefore we are now requiring that how manufacturing can provide that competitive advantage. Now in this line, in this session of developing the manufacturing strategy, we will discuss that how the manufacturing strategy for an organization will be developed, and to understand that we will see that what type of strategy, what will be the deliverable of this strategy, how to achieve those deliverables. All these are the important component of this manufacturing strategy development process. Now we require strategies at the operational level which are not based only on marketing or only on operations or only any particular functional area like supply chain, human resource, finance or IT or innovation. Rather we will take into account that most of these strategies should be an interface between that functional area and the market, and at this point it is very important for us to differentiate between two terms, that is market and marketing. Many of us may not feel any difference between market and marketing. Marketing is a functional activity, while market is not. Market is understanding your customer. Marketing is knowing who is your customer, what is their need. So that is market. So all functional activities need to target, need to create that kind of synergy between the market and that particular functional activity. Marketing is a functional activity while market is not. This distinction is very important. Market many a times we can classify on the basis of you can say geographical area. Market you can classify on the basis of ethnicity. Market you can classify on the basis of income. Market you can classify on the basis of gender. Market you can classify on the basis of you can say education level. So all these are the different ways in which you can decide your market, that I am going to serve a market which is college going. So that is my market, and this market may not be physically located at a particular place. I want to serve a market which is in the northern India. So, that is a geographically located market. I want to serve those people who are coming from African background to India. So, I am serving a particular ethnic market, then I am only serving products of male utilities, that is market on the basis of gender. I am serving those markets which are highly educated. So, serving market on the basis of education level. So, markets are defined on the basis of all these possible variables. You can take one variable or you can take more than one variable. If you go to the class of marketing, we talk this thing as segmentation. So, first is we need to create a kind of synergy between our functional activity and the target market to which we are going to serve our product. And again I am cautioning you that market and marketing are two different things. Now, developing the manufacturing strategy or strategic thinking in manufacturing, a very simple flow diagram I am presenting, and in this simple flow diagram to develop a manufacturing strategy we are having three questions. The question number 1 is, what are we now? Where are we now? What is our current status? That is the question number 1 we try to answer. And to answer this question, we take the help of SWOT. SWOT stands for strength, weakness, O for opportunity, and T for threat. So, we do our SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat analysis to know what is our current situation, where are we now. Then the second question we like to answer, where do we want to now, what is our desired status. This is our present and this is our desired status, or you can say future. So, you know what is your current situation, where you want to be, and then the third question is how will you go there. So, first, many a times unfortunately many of us are not aware where are we now. People remains in a state of confusion and they are not able to judge their either true potential or they are not able to know their strengths and weaknesses, and that is first problem arises from the stage 1, that where are we now. The second question, we do not know where we want to go, and third is how will we go there. That is the simplest question one can answer, but two most difficult question from my understanding are the question number 1 and question number 2. We are unable to identify where are we and where we want to go. Was you are clear about these two things, where are we, where we want to go, then you can find a path that how to go from this stage to that stage. In our one of the session we discussed that there are 4 types of generic manufacturing strategies depending upon process and product chain. So, like if you have this 2 by 2 matrix where on one axis you have process change and on other axis you have product change. Processes can be from stable to dynamic. Similarly, products can also be from stable to dynamic. If you are in a stage of stable product, stable process, you are following a mass production strategy. Now, it is quite possible that you remain satisfied with this mass production strategy, but if you are a dynamic organization, if you are a learning organization, so you will like to move from this mass production strategy to some other kind of strategy. Now, it is quite possible that you follow this route, route number 1, you follow this route, route number 2, or you follow this route, route number 3. This is representing the innovation strategy, where you are leading the market with your ability to innovate. You need to continuously innovate if you are in a market which is characterized by dynamic products. The products are regularly changing and you are changing your capabilities, you are changing your processes to meet the requirement of those changing products. So, you are in a innovation strategy type of activity, and many companies try to move from mass production to innovation, but they may follow route number 1, route number 2, route number 3, and this is the answer of question number 3, that how will you get there, either following route number 1 or by following route number 2 or by following route number 3. But it is important that where are we now? If I am at stage number 2 or if I am at stage number 1, then I will not have these alternative routes. So, depending upon where are we now, we will decide that what are the alternatives available to us, and I will select one of those alternatives depending upon pros and cons attached to those different alternatives. Now, the first important question, that is the SWOT analysis, and we will like to discuss slightly in more detail about this SWOT analysis. Now, in this SWOT analysis, many of you may be familiar also that this is a very important tool for environmental scanning. You do environmental scanning for both the environments, your internal environment and your external environment. Any organization has two types of environment. One environment is within your control, the variables of that environment are within your control. So, that is internal environment, but there are large number of activities, large number of variables which are outside your organization, which are beyond the boundary of your organization. For an example, regulatory environment, that is outside the purview of your individual organization. So, that becomes a component of external environment. The political environment, no single organization can control the political environment. So, political environment is also a part of external environment. While I can very well control my employees, I can control the type of technology to be used in my organization. So, these are the part of my internal environment. So, internal environment is something where I have full control. So, this is internal environment and this is external environment. So, things like political, like regulatory, like international exchange rates, these are some of the elements of the external environment. Your competitors, what your competitors are doing, you have no control over them. So, your competitors are also part of your external environment, while you can control the technology available to you, your employees, you can control your vendors. So, all these are the part of your internal environment. So, in this SWOT analysis, we do a thorough scanning of these internal as well as external environments. So, you have strength, weakness, opportunities and threats, and with the help of these strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, you will do this kind of analysis, which is going to help you in getting the current situation of your organization. In case of strength, most of the strengths are coming from the internal situations. You may be having strength for superior engineering, your design capabilities are your strength, your ability to produce very high quality products quality conformance. You already have ability to produce Six Sigma level of quality. So, these are some of the strengths, the examples of strengths coming from your internal environment. Similarly, weaknesses may also come from the internal environment. You do not have much automation in your factory. You lack degree of automation, your competitors are having higher degree of automation, but you do not have that high degree of automation. So, that may be one weakness for your organization. You do not have capability to provide good after sale services. That is also a weakness you have. So, these are strengths and weaknesses. Now, based on these strengths and weaknesses, you can also align them with the conditions of the external environment. And when we go with the alignment of these internal situations with the external environment, you get opportunities and threats. So, strengths give to opportunities and weaknesses give rise to threats. When you have something which is favorable, which is in line with the strengths of your organization, that there is a huge market available which is highly quality conscious. So, that becomes an opportunity for you, that you have a strength to produce high quality products, and at the same time there is a market available for high quality products. So, you have an opportunity to grow to that untapped market. You have weakness of after sale service. You do not have a good network of after sale services. So, the threat is that customers are looking for those suppliers which can provide good after sale services. But since you do not have that after sale services, so that becomes a threat for you, that those competitors which are having a robust after sale service mechanism, these customers will go to those competitors. So, this way your weaknesses will give rise to your threats, strengths will give to opportunities. Over a period of time, what we try to do, that slowly and slowly we will try to convert our weaknesses into strengths. We will do some kind of exercise, we will do some kind of development programs, we will organize some kind of workshops, so that we can convert our weaknesses into our strengths. Our after sale service system is not robust, so we will try to expand our after sale service network. If degree of automation is less, we will see that where we can increase the level of automation, so that once your weaknesses become strength, then obviously these threats will also become our opportunities. So, that is how over a period of time this type of transition takes place, that weaknesses become strength and threats become opportunities. But in this context where we are discussing this SWOT analysis, the purpose is to know the present situation. We are doing this whole exercise to know our present situation, to get the answer of question number 1. We just discussed that where are we now. So, to get the answer of this question using this SWOT analysis, we are going for this type of complete detailed exercise, and I request you that you can also do SWOT analysis of different types. For an example, you can do SWOT analysis of Indian automobile industry. Make a SWOT analysis of Indian automobile industry, and you can share these detailed SWOT analysis over the discussion forums also. Then you can do another SWOT analysis of steel industry of India. Then we can also do some company specific SWOT analysis, like we can do SWOT analysis of Hero MotoCorp. We can do SWOT analysis of another very popular company, that is Air India. So, at this time we are doing a detailed SWOT analysis, but in coming sessions we will discuss that how we need to do only manufacturing related SWOT analysis, because the same SWOT analysis can be done at the top level of the organization, where we are trying to develop the corporate strategy or the business level strategy for our organization. But here I am just giving you the overview that how SWOT analysis is done and what are the important components of this SWOT analysis with respect to S, W, O and T. So, we got the answer of our present situation. Now, once you get the answer of present situation, then the second question is where you want to go. And as we discussed that the vision of the organization is the most important driving factor in deciding your future, where you want to go. So, you will like to grow as per the vision of the organization. So, you need to understand, you need to develop a proper mechanism through which the vision at the corporate level is conveyed, is transferred properly to the supervisor or the labor level of the organization. In most of the organizations, this becomes a very typical problem that these vision, mission kind of activities are limited to the top management of the organization, and the middle level and the lower level and the labor level employees are totally unaware of what is the mission of the organization, what is the vision of the organization, and therefore, you will find lot of difference between the vision and the things which are happening in the organization. You will find these things totally unrelated. So, it is very important that you should know your vision and you should also develop a proper mechanism to transfer that vision from the top level to the lower level employees of the organization. So, second important question is vision. In developing the vision, the very popular tool which we follow nowadays is benchmarking. Benchmarking is a very popular tool which is followed for developing the vision of the organization. And now, when we say the benchmarking is a very popular tool, it will help us that what are the best practices in your organization. So, you will understand that if my competitor can achieve this level of performance, why can't I? So, benchmarking helps us in knowing that what are the possibilities, where is the sky, and third is how. So, we have three important questions: where are we, where we want to go and how to go there. So, these three things will make us or will give us our manufacturing strategy. So, in developing this manufacturing strategy, the first thing is to understand your market. As I already told you that market and marketing are two different things. So, we need to see that our organizations are market driven and not by the marketing driven. I am again and again emphasizing that our organization should be market driven and market driving approach should be there, so that we can have a very proper utilization of our functional resources to fulfill the requirements of the market. So, the market driven organizations are required, and for that purpose the first thing is to understand the market. The second important thing is to translate the review of phase 1 into strategic tasks. Some of the examples to understand this point, like if in a particular market price is a competitive figure, that customers are favoring those products which are of low price. So, the specific strategic task for the manufacturing is to reduce the cost. So, you have what customers like, what is your market like, and then accordingly translate that need, translate that review into a very strategic task. So, that is one example. The second example is, if your customer is or if your market is looking for on time delivery, that is a competitive factor in a particular market. So, you need to work that how to improve the reliability of meeting the customer due dates. So, you need to develop the systems of tracking, IoT kind of thing, and therefore, nowadays even if you know that even post offices, passport offices, many courier companies, they give you a tracking number, so that you can continuously track where is the location of your docket, and that is one way of improving the on time delivery, so that customer can have better satisfaction. So, you need to translate some of the requirements, some of the needs of your market into the strategic task for the operation activity. Then the third important phase in developing the manufacturing strategy is the phase of checking. So, what is currently provided? Matches. So, whether your requirement of price is matching with the low cost of production or not. The customer is price sensitive, but you are developing mechanism of on time delivery. So, it means your match is not proper. So, you need to see the phase 1 and phase 2, the proper match is there or not. Then what is required in a market driven scenario? You have to be proactive, that how the market is going to behave after 1 year, after 2 years, after 3 years. So, what is required in a market driven scenario, you need to identify, so that you can develop those capabilities by the time market requires those things, so that you can have correct matches. And what is required in the new level in a market driving scenario, how the expectations level of the customer are going to increase. Earlier the customers were either satisfied with good quality or low price, but now the new level which customers require, that they want high quality products at the lowest possible cost. So, that type of requirements are changing. So, you need to see that continuously whether your capabilities or customer requirements are matching or not, what are the future customer requirements, and how the expectation levels are increasing. So, you need to continuously check on all these points. Then on the basis of that, you develop a strategy to fulfill the bridge, to develop that connectivity where the level of provision falls short of the requirement, because you are presently here, this is your desired state. So, you need to develop some kind of bridge to fulfill this gap. So, this gap is fulfilled by the strategy, so that you can move from this present status to this desired status. And in a market driving scenario, if you are proactive, so what is going to happen, that this is your present status, this is your desired status, and this desired status will come, let us say, after 2 years. But because you are proactive, you may be able to develop within 1.5 years this desired level, so that you are ahead of your competitors. That is the meaning of proactiveness. You achieve the new level of performance in a market driven strategy, where before market requires, you are there providing that type of solution. So, if I summarize this whole story, of developing the manufacturing strategy. So, this becomes a 5-point agenda starting from the corporate objectives to marketing strategy, then how do our products qualify and win orders in a particular marketplace, and two important elements are there of the operations strategy. One is related to process choices and the second is to develop the infrastructure to meet those process choices. This is a very important slide and we will discuss this slide many a times during this course, so that we know that for what type of corporate objectives, what type of process choices are required, what type of infrastructure investment is required. So, I am giving this slide as a beginning point of our development of manufacturing strategy. So, with this we come to end of this session, which is a starting point for the development of manufacturing strategy. Thank you very much.